Ty Spiritual, and I'm back with another video, man. Simple. Now, this video right here is not going to be a long one. It's not going to be a long one. But before I get into what I have to say, I want you guys to watch this short clip, all right? This clip is going to be probably like 2 minutes long. 2 minutes long. In this clip, this man is going to literally admit, this government official, this guy is literally going to admit that the government has access to UFOs, and they also have non-human bodies. She specifically is going to ask this man, are these human bodies or are these non-human bodies? He said non-human. Okay. Now this just happened recently, and social media is up in it got a lot of people talking right now. So I want you guys to take this, watch this clip, because for some reason, you know, I'm gonna say that for later on in the video. Watch this clip and I'm gonna give my thoughts.
Intelligent extraterrestrials.
Something I can't discuss in public setting.
Okay, I can't ask when you think this occurred. If you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier, do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, so, and you may or may not be able to answer my last question, and maybe we get into a skiff at the next hearing that we have, but who in the government, either what agency, sub-agency, what contractors, who should be called into the next hearing about UAPs, either in a public setting or even in a private setting? And you probably can't name names, but what agencies or organizations, contractors, et cetera, do we need to call in to get these questions answered, whether it's about funding, what programs are happening, and what's out there?
I can give you a specific cooperative and hostile witness list of specific individuals that were in those.
And how soon can we get that list?
I'm happy to provide that to you after the hearing.
Super, thank you, and I yield back.
Now, as you guys saw, exactly what I said was said in that video. Now, here's the thing about this, and this is not going to be a long video because I'm going to be really direct with my points and real quick with it. Every year or every few years, we get these UFO conferences, or these government people asking and discussing questions about UFOs and aliens. Now, I've already said and broke down to people that just because you hear the word UFO, that does not mean it is an alien or an extraterrestrial craft, because the definition of UFO is simply unidentified flying object. That's all it is. Okay? So just because you hear UFO, that does not mean alien. But they discuss these things. And when people see that, when they see them discussing UFOs, they automatically think alien. Like, okay, there's a difference, but I can understand why they do that. The thing is, people are not seeing through the bullshit. They're not seeing through the bullshit at all. Well, I won't say at all. I've seen a few people calling it out, but majority, you're not. You're not seeing through it. You see, I'm watching that clip that I just showed you guys. I'm watching the guy speak, and I'm watching the questions the woman is asking. And in that clip, the guy is literally saying, "Oh, it's some things. Or I'll tell you, or I'll give you this list after the conference." Why you can't get a list now? She asked specifically, what branches of government, what branches, what organizations are responsible for this research, for this information? Who can we talk to? And she literally said, you ain't got to get no specifics. Well, hold on. If he ain't got to get no specifics, why are you asking for a specific answer? And as he said, he tiptoed around it and pretty much gave the same answer of, we'll discuss that at another conference. These people are playing games with y'all. They're playing games with y'all. And I say y'all as in the people that are not that are not getting this, okay? They're playing games with y'all. These conferences aren't these conferences aren't about what they really know. They're tiptoeing around all this stuff as if all this is new. This all ain't new to them. Discovering UFOs, alien crafts, actual alien crafts, this ain't new to them. They've been doing these things since the 90s. It's presidents that have been working directly with aliens. All this information is online. These people, family members speaking about it, Dwight D. Eisenhower was in contact with the Greys and the alien race and the extraterrestrial race. He was. Numerous people have reported it, and his own granddaughter, Laura Eisenhower, has even spoken about it. But that takes me to my next point. It takes a government official for a lot of you to register this information, to even take it into consideration as truth. But when you see somebody that's not a government official, somebody that's on YouTube, or somebody that really does their research, or even somebody that you may know, people don't be too quick to even listen to what they're saying. It takes the governments putting some information out there. It takes them saying it for people to say, oh, this is finally a possibility. Oh, aliens are real. We got all this proof on this damn planet of extraterrestrial life and extraterrestrial intelligence. But somehow it takes the government saying this stuff and talking about it to finally get people to be open to the idea. All this stuff, all these ancient civilizations have spoken about it. All these hieroglyphs, all these ancient tribes that have been mapping out the Sirius star system before they even invented a telescope. They knew it was two Sirius stars, Sirius A and B. They knew that, something we didn't know. These pyramids that are here, the Pyramid of Giza, things that we can't even build to this day. We got all this proof here, all this information here, and we got so many people that are talking about it, yet people only want to consider it when they hear the government. These conferences aren't going to tell you guys the real deep information. They're not. They're not. They're giving you bits and pieces, and what they're doing is they're laying down a plan. They're laying down the groundwork for a big alien event. I speak about, and many other people have spoken about, the 5D ascension, and that being up in 40 to 50 years. And people have spoken about public disclosure with aliens and ETs. They've spoken about these things. I can assure you there's going to be a big alien event that is fabricated by you know who, and I'm not going to say it directly because that'll be too direct for YouTube, but by you know who on this planet before this whole 5D ascension is done. Boy, this fly is really being annoying. Anyways, I can guarantee you that it's going to happen. But in order for people to really hit home with the public, we can't just go from saying, oh, they don't exist, Area 52 doesn't exist, no, we don't have any access to UFOs, we don't know anything about it. They can't just go from denying to fabricating something. It won't hit the same. What they do is this. Let's introduce this. Let's tell them this. Let's put this, give them this information. Give them this little piece, this little piece, this little piece, this little piece. To now, when it happens, when we do this event, it's more believable. That's all these conferences are for. If y'all want real information or deeper information, you're going to have to research. Because you're not going to get it from government officials, I promise you. They're not talking about the real stuff, man. They're not talking about it. The government has been known about extraterrestrials. They've been contacted by extraterrestrials a long time ago. How do people think we started just advancing so quickly as a civilization? Just over 100 years, just 100 years ago, we didn't even have cars. Now they're already putting the first flying cars in production. How does that happen? How do we go from things looking how they looked in the 1950s to now? How? That's an unreal spike and jump in technology. It is. The point of this video is this. If you're waiting for these conferences to learn about UFOs and aliens, you're going to be caught by surprise when this event happens, because they're not going to give you enough information to put you ahead of it. No, they're going to give you just enough information to keep you right behind it. So when it happens, you're caught off guard. You're behind. Because when you look at these conferences, and I've seen about at least 2 or 3 of these things already. It's always the same thing. A bunch of tiptoeing, a little bit of information, people ask questions, and it goes away. It's a pattern. It's a pattern, and it's an agenda. Okay? So I'm not going to get in this video and reiterate the things that I've already revealed, that I know and that I've researched about extraterrestrials. No. I'm making this video to tell you guys to don't be complacent listening to government officials discuss UFOs, because they're not giving you the whole truth. And to be fair, a lot of these government officials, I won't say a lot, some of them, they're kept out of the loop their damn selves. They're just playing a role. They're playing a role. So, and let me move into the sun. They're playing a role that they are unaware that they're playing. But they're playing one. But these high up officials, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. So understand this. These conferences are an agenda. They're an agenda. And seeing, as in how many people are still shocked by them just saying the most basic information regarding extraterrestrials, shows me how far we still are behind as a race, as a civilization. It shows how far behind we still are. There's little to no excuse that people have now for not being aware of extraterrestrials and the UFO activity that's been happening on this planet. Because of all the information and all the ways that you can research, all the things you can look up, it's out there. It's out there. Like some people said in the quotes, they've been knew this stuff. They've been knew this stuff. They're just putting it out now. Yet people trust the government so wholeheartedly that it takes them saying something or some type of conference of that magnitude right there for people to take it into consideration. But when you get people, content creators, or even people that's just out here putting out information, you get them together, they start speaking about this stuff. Most people just think, oh, they crazy. Okay. All right. I'll tell you this, though. For the people that are relying on these conferences to learn about this information, you got a rude awakening ahead of you. You got a rude awakening ahead of you. Okay? They're laying down the prep for this UFO event that's coming in the future. I can't tell you when, because I don't know. What I do know is it's going to happen. And how do I know that? Because it's obvious. It's obvious. You think the government hasn't staged an event before to get a certain reaction out of the public to justify their reaction? You think that hasn't happened before? Oh, it happened. It happened. It happened in New York. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't going to go no deeper than that. It happened in New York. where something was staged to get a certain reaction, and then so they can do a certain reaction to that reaction that they got. So you have to speak in code here. You have to be subliminal on social media because they'll pull your videos down and take the information down. And I want people to watch this video. I want people to get this information. So I speak that way. But understand this. Be aware. Stop being complacent. Regardless what you believe in, whether you're a Christian, regardless, research and look into stuff. The last thing I'm gonna say in this video is this. Some of you watching this video right now, you're connected to these same ETs that you refuse to acknowledge, even have a possibility of existing. Some of you are connected to these same ETs that have been slowly revealing themselves to the public. Because, newsflash, the only reason, I won't say the only reason, but one of the main reasons that they're even speaking about this stuff, the government is even speaking about this stuff now, after not speaking on it for so long, after denying like things like Area 52 for so long, and now they finally acknowledged it years ago. One of the main reasons they're doing this now is because these ETs are forcing their hand. They're forcing their hand. Some of these UFOs that you guys do see in the sky, that you do see up there, they're actually aliens. Those are actually alien ships, extraterrestrial ships. They are. So these ETs are kind of forcing their hand to speak about it, because now it's becoming so, these sightings are becoming more frequent, that the government just can't ignore it anymore. And when you look at how technology is advancing and how we are advancing as a species, they can't just ignore things. They can't move how they moved 10 or 15 years ago with this information. They can't just keep holding everything in. No. They can't maintain order and control like that. No. Because then it'll be too blatant. But how they continue to maintain order and control is simply, let's give them piece by piece by piece, a little truth, a little truth, a little truth, a little truth. But they're not giving you enough truth to put together the whole story. Thus meaning this. You got to keep watching these things, keep watching these conferences, keep watching them speak about it over and over and over and over again while you're trying to draw a conclusion based off the information that you're getting that makes sense. But the thing is, they're not giving you enough information to even draw a conclusion. Just enough information for you to keep coming back and watching these things over and over and over and over. So while it may be a positive thing in an aspect that people are questioning stuff, questioning things without ever finding the answer is pointless. And I'm gonna say that again. Questioning things without ever finding the answer to a question is pointless. It's pointless. Okay? And that's this loop that they're putting people in right now pertaining to extraterrestrials, aliens, and UFOs. They're putting you guys in a loop. So you're going to be questioning, people are going to be questioning. They can't find answers because they're relying on these people to speak about it. And then boom, that event happens. And it's a shock. And they're off guard. Real ETs are not going to come and take over this planet forcefully. It's not going to be some Independence Day, like how the movie Independence Day. That's not going to happen. It's not. And my brother just texted me right now. You see they got UFOs trending. Yeah, I see it. I'm making a video on it right now. But it's not going to be some Independence Day type thing. We have free will here. They're not going to mess this up. They can't interfere with this. That's the law of the Federation. You want to say Galactic Federation? You can use that. You want to say the Watchers? You can use that. They're not going to do that. But the government knows, these elite know how everybody is expecting that. They're expecting that. And they know that if we plan this right, We get this information. We line all this up. If we do this, control is ours. Because so many people are going to be caught in a state of fear that they're going to have no choice but to listen to us. They're going to be completely off guard. So the point of this video is this. Do your own research into these ancient cultures, Sumerians, Anunnaki. Research into these things. Research into Kush, Kemet. Research into the hieroglyphs, the Egyptian gods, Ra, Horus, Thoth. Research into these things, Enki, Enlil, Marduk. Research into these things, these cuneiform tablets. Research into these things. These things have already been speaking about how and what happened when these ETs first came here. But most importantly, remember this right here. There's information that you can get from within yourself that'll confirm this more than anything that you can research or see or somebody can tell you. Is it easy to obtain that information? No. You got to get your chakras energized. You got to change your lifestyle. Raise your vibrational frequency. Then you may be able to pull memories back from who you once were and what you once were a part of. These things are possible. So while you can do all the external research you want, remember to go within yourself, okay? Not doing that, expecting something and creating, look at that fly, and creating an illusion, no. But this is why being spiritually aware is important right now. Because a lot of people came here for a reason. A lot of people incarnated on this planet for a reason. Got placed in their family for a reason. Chose their name for a reason. Chose their parents for a reason. Chose their spirit guides for a reason. A lot of you did this for a reason. Thing is, you're not living in a way that benefits that. You're going in the complete opposite direction of that. And you're wasting this lifetime. You may not be aware of it now, but when you finally cross back over, you're going to be aware of it. What you are and what you were supposed to be doing. Okay? I'm not saying these things in this video to convince you. No. Because if I can convince you of something, somebody else can convince you otherwise. All right? This is not to convince you. This is to simply inform you. The choice is yours. There's no right or wrong. Just directions that lead to destinations. Which destination you reach will be according to the direction that you took. Okay? So anyways, I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Hope you guys learned something. And I hope this video helps people realize the agenda of these conferences. Okay? It's just bits and pieces. The basics. That's all they're giving. You got people on YouTube right now breaking down how these crafts work. And I'll be specific. One person that broke it down is Pharaoh's Ghost. He broke it down, how these alien crafts work. How they store energy from different galaxies in certain parts of the ship, and then they move and they go to those galaxies. You got people breaking this stuff down. This is why I say looking things up is important. And that's not information that he looked up. That's information that he remembered from what he and who he used to be. That's things he recalled. You got, and I'm not saying take and believe everything that somebody says. No. Because people do get on the internet and lie. But I'll tell you, there's truth being spoken about these things. These people on these conferences ain't gonna break down how alien crafts work because they don't know. They don't know. They don't know. Because the main people you see speaking on these things that's in the government, they're not. I'm not gonna say that. What I'll say is this. These people that are placed in these government positions, most of them, they're not connected to these ETs. They're not. At all. They're not even connected to the planet, nor are they even trying to be. They're not. But somehow, they're the main ones that are discussing these things. And that's an issue. That's an issue. Okay? Anyways, thank you guys all for watching this video. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. This video is this video is kind of a rant type video of me. That's why the structure really wasn't any structure. I'm just speaking. Okay? Because those that are familiar with me, you already know the information that I've put out. Those that this may be your first video seeing, now you know you can research. You can go on my YouTube channel, you can go on others' YouTube channel, you can research to these things, research into how UFOs, which were actually alien crafts, flew over the White House in 1952. Research that. The Nazis flew alien crafts over the White House in 1952. Research that. Research the Roswell incident where an alien craft crashed and they found that craft and they found an alien body in it and took it away. Research that. Research into what Laura Eisenhower has been saying about Dwight D. Eisenhower and his connection to the great alien race. Research into that. Research into the Anunnaki. Research into Marduk, Ra, the hieroglyphs, cuneiform tablets, what they say about the Great Flood, which is what, again, this is not the type of video, but the Great Flood is one of the main things spoken about in the Bible. But it wasn't the first, the Bible was not the first thing to even speak of a great flood. And when you research into these cuneiform tablets, these Sumerian tablets that speak of the great flood and how it really went, you'll realize, well, this tablet couldn't have copied that Bible. So who's lying? That's all I'm gonna say. Anyways, thank you guys all for watching. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. If you want another video to watch, click that video that's popping up about right there on your screen. And if you are new to the channel, click that subscribe button that's popping up about right there on your screen. If you're on Facebook, these things aren't going to pop up, so you have to click my YouTube channel link that's in the comments below. Thank you guys all for watching. Remember, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. Ty Spiritual signing out, bro. And like the Navi saying Avatar, I see you. Until we meet again. Simple.
Those to be are watching. Let me explain to you why the way we think in this realm on this planet won't work. Ain't gonna work. See, we so used to using this gas, which is cool. When you're traveling in space, that's obsolete. That's slow compared to them. Slow. And I'm gonna explain to you guys what I mean by that. So if anybody that's in jet propulsion or studying spacecraft, whatever, take notes. Give you an example. Follow me now. All right, we're gonna name 4 points, major points. 4 major points. Not the micro points inside, just 4 points, right? We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, remember. 1 is east. 2 is west, right? 1 east, 2 west. 3 is north, 4 is south. You got a ship, right? And that ship has harbored the energy of said galaxies. What I mean by that is this. In engine number 1, we have this stardust or dark matter, not dark matter, this stardust or dark energy in number 1. Whenever we fully release this ship will be pulled towards that galaxy. All right. Number 2, say we got the Andromeda or whatever. This is the opposite direction of that galaxy. If we cut this on, the ship goes towards that galaxy, which means the energy in this ship pulls the energy in the ship pulls the ship towards that galaxy. All right. Let's say we got a galaxy above us at 3, okay, and a galaxy below us at 4. So now, to hover in place, you have the energy being released equal point. You have it 5, 5, 5, 5. Now what happens if I do this? What happens if I go from, I got 1 and 2. If I just turn down 1, I'll go this direction. This direction, right? I'm not trying to confuse you guys. Remember, 2 is over here. If I turn down 1, I will not do this. Turn down 1, I will go this way. All right? Let's say I turn back up 1. I won't go back that way. I'll just stop going this way. In order to go back that way, I have to turn down 2 or turn 1 up past 5. I just said all of them is at 5, right? So we got 2 at 5. So let me turn 1 up to 6. What'll happen? It'll slow me down. So much so then I'll stop and then I'll go back this direction, okay? So now I'm hovering. If I turn 1 down, I'm going this direction. If I stop, equal out, I'm a hover. If I turn 1 up, I go this way. If I turn 1 up and 2 down, I go this way faster, right? Okay, you got that. Now we're gonna go up and down. So now we have energy in the ship positioned north and south of the ship in the outer shell. So if I turn, listen, if I turn up 3, what happens? I will go this way. If I turn the energy down, I won't go back south, but it'll just stay here. If I turn it down past 5, I'll come down. Back up to 5, I'll hover. I want to move real quick. You know what I'm gonna do? I want to go this way real quick. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna turn 1 to 0. Wait, no. I'm gonna turn 1 to 10 and turn 2 to 0. And I go this way quick, but I'm still hovering. Now let's get more complicated. Now I want to go this way real quick. What I got to do? I have to now turn 3 off. Turn the engine down for 3. Engine room 3. Turn the engine room 3 down. The dark matter in that room down. Right? So much so. And then I have to also turn down this one. 3. So 1 and 4 will be full blast. So I'll go this way real quick. Now, you put on a glove. We have 4 fingers, right? 4 fingers. 4. They have to be in sync. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Let's just show you 4 hands. Just 1 hand. Right here. If I press this one down harder, I'm going to go this way. Alright, if I come up, I'll hover. I press this outside, so we're just going to say this is 4. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. It's going to be kind of off because I'm trying to keep the direction straight. So I press my pinky down harder. I'll go this way, right? This way. You have on a sleeve. In those ships, you move like this. The ship go this way, you just fold your arm that way. It bends forward on its axis. It don't move, it bends. Now let's just say, well, if I get attacked, what happened? Will the ship move? Remember I said if all of them at 5, it's hovering. It gets hit, it might knock back a little bit, but it'll begin stationary. What if that ship's in the air and it don't want to move? You turn everything up to 5, to 10, you maximize it. So it's getting the maximum pull. It's getting a pull from every single galaxy in that ship. So it becomes an anchor. It can't move. Okay? Now here's the thing. Dark energy goes through everything existing. Everything. So that ship can still be pulled. That ship energy field can be pulled through this earth. This is a physical plane. That's vibrating so high it supersedes the physical in a sense, but it can be housed. This whole thing about burning gas, you'll run out. So we gotta how far can we go? That far? Well, that's the problem. Because in space, if it go this direction and we run out, you'll still travel the direction at the same speed. But now, say we're approaching Mars, how am I gonna stop? I have to have afterburners, which is fuel. They actually start spraying the opposite direction we're going to slow us down. And these things, you don't burn off energy. You release energy and you pull it back in. You pull it back in like someone, I'm gonna use the word dampener, all right? When this energy is within this dampener, it can't sense the galaxies it's trying to pull from. So if I'm gonna go here, I need the energy rooms for this galaxy, that galaxy, so this galaxy is above the solar system. This one is below the solar system. This is east, the solar system, this is west of. Give me those 4 energy barriers to put in my ship. So when I go there, I'm using the coordinates to hover around that planet from these 4 galaxies. Now, I showed you guys up, down, east, west. You can, of course, do this by turning down one. You can. That's what I call micro points in the beginning. It's called micro points. Okay. So the thing is this: they don't use, as he said, jet propulsion. They're like, it's not what's pushing it. Nothing. So how can it go that fast? Here's how. I'm gonna go from here, 0 miles per hour, to 13 miles per hour. How y'all measure it. This way, that way. Well, I'm gonna turn off 2 all the way, and then I'm gonna turn up 1 full speed. I'm gonna still hover. I'm going this way real quick, and as I approach my destination, you know what I do? I'll turn 1 down as I turn 2 back up. You don't turn 2 up, is 1 still up. You don't do that because you're gonna create a pull on the ship. You turn 1 down as you turn 2 up, and the ship slows down. The faster you do it, the faster it'll stop. You have to have balance. You just can't turn 1 all the way off. You can't do that because then it'll start having a pull from 2. You got to turn 2 up and 1 down gradually, so you'll hover. Also, you still hover. So they do this real quick, back and forth. And no propulsion means this. Whatever you see going through space that has a propulsion engine, that's a weak part of your ship. You can enter that. You can enter that. If fire comes out, we cut off. We can get into your ship. Those things have energy barriers, dark energy inside the ship, to where you can't get inside. You can only get out of the ship unless you're flying it. You can then get in it from your personal access, which means you can't get in there. There's no entry. Everything they use is natural. Same thing used for space bridges. There's space bridges on Mars, space bridge in by the Giza pyramids. These things have the same signatures. They have to come here and not be affected by our old archaic Newton laws, other kind of stuff, physics. They have things that define that nonsense, far exceed that. We're still jet propulsion. If we get these minds together, now I know I'm on a tangent, with these kids, I don't care what color kids are, what race they are. These things in their brains fresh when they come from star seeds. It's right there. I can remember this stuff. And the guy was like, he spoke. I don't know how I moved that fast because there was no propulsion. Right. They use energy like a magnet. I have a magnet right here, right? It's sitting right here. I have another magnet. And I push the magnet towards this, it pushes it away. What energy is using itself? It's no energy. It's just proximity. I push it, it gets closer and moves away. Now think for a second, right? I got a platform. I got a metal iron ball in the middle of the table, and on 4 corners I got magnets. I can move that ball according to the magnets. The same thing on a grand scale, a celestial scale, a cosmic scale, to where whatever I have in this ship wants to go back to its original galaxy. I have 4 in here. It wants to go to 4 different points. They're in dampeners. The more I release, the more it pulls toward the galaxy. That's how they can supersede our speed. Okay? So we have no hope in that. You want to speak about energy fields? You can't get into that. Your only hope is to catch something coming out of it. There's no way to get into that. Because they have no weak points. Because they don't use what we use, like ships. And we have spacecrafts, and we got the Nikola Tesla, I would say knockoff, spaceships that use burst. They don't have that. That's archaic. And I said, you know what's funny? The further away you go from this planet, and you come back, which means they could be from here. Long time ago. If I go at speed of light as we know it, for let's just say 5 days, speed of light, 5 days, just 5 days, and I stop, and I come back, I've been gone for 10 days. When I get back, thousands of years could have passed. I was moving so far away at the speed of light, and here time was still moving. I'm going way faster than that. And I come back, it's been years we have been passed. So I will return to something that looks, now, that's not familiar to me. I'll give you something real quick. And just think for a second. This planet is 10 billion, say this planet is 4 billion miles away. All right, cool. I got my camera set up and I look at the planet. I don't see nothing. One problem. If it's 4 billion years ago and I see it now, what I'm now seeing is actually happened 4 billion years ago. But now let's say that's life on that planet, right? I will only see life on the planet right now in 4 billion years. That's why it's like, well, they can look and see us. It's according to how far away they are. Which means they had to be here for a while. You can't look at Earth 5 billion years from here and see that. You can't, you won't, if, let's say dinosaurs, it was 2 billion years ago, 2 billion years ago. Anybody, listen to me, any planet that's 2 billion light years away, looking at Earth right now, they're seeing dinosaurs. The light, when dinosaurs here, is still traveling, but it's 2 million light years away from Earth. So you don't look at a planet and see what you don't look and see that, but you don't see that immediately. Which means this also. If you look at a planet that's 1 million light years away, right? We see life. Remember, what you're seeing is 1 million years ago. When you get there, think for a second. If what I see is 1 million years ago, I'm going to go there. Now guess what? When you get there, it's 2 million years. You're going to get there in the presence of 2. So what you have seen will be old by 1 million years. So you can't see from that far away and see what's going on. It's not possible. Our sun is 8 minutes behind. Where we see the sun at right now, the sun is there. No, it's not. It's actually this much further along than your eyes see it. It takes light 8 minutes to get to this Earth. So about this much, the sun's this. So when the sun comes up, when you see the sun coming up, it's already up. When the sun is setting, it's already set. Behind it. When the sun touches the horizon, it's already gone. Also, when the sun first pops its head above the horizon, it's already above it. It takes like that long to get here. Okay? It's the difference. Now, the other thing I'm going to address